The following video covers ideologies of the Industrial Revolution. These were talked about in Chapter 20, Section 4 of our textbook. First off, Ariana is going to discuss Karl Marx and his philosophy.
Karl Marx was a major influence regarding socialism. The German philosopher was responsible for the unrealistic ideas of the utopians. Utopians being early socialists who wanted to build self-sufficient communities with a socialist government. Marx was convinced that he had socialism down to a science. Marx and his partner Friedrich Engels developed the idea of communism. Marx believed that capitalism at the time was the cause of economic issues, such as poverty, and believed that this new form of socialism to be the solution.
Socialism is a political system under which the people of society would operate the means of production as a whole rather than private individuals. This included farms, factories, railways, and other large businesses that produced and distributed goods. Socialism was a radical solution to end poverty and injustice. Socialists wanted to develop a world that would operate for the good of all the members rather than just the wealthy. Communism is a form of socialism that sees class struggle between employers and employees as unavoidable. Marx concluded that the employers have always owned the means of production and therefore controlled society and all its wealth.
He felt that the class struggle between the poor and the wealthy pitted them up against each other. Many of his theories ended up being wrong, however. He also thought the proletariat would unite across borders, but in the end, nationalism triumphed working class loyalty. As far as Marxism revolutions go in the late 1800s, Russian socialists embraced Marxism, and the Russian Revolution of 1917 set up communist-inspired governments. For much of the early 1900s, many revolutionaries would agree with Karl Marx and took after Marxism. The ideas of Karl Marx inspired the majority and impacted civilizations all around the globe for many years to come.
Another major set of beliefs during this time period were those of the utilitarians.
Utilitarianism is the belief that society's goal should be the greatest happiness for the greater number of its citizens. Utilitarians worked for reforms in many areas from child labor to public health. A major driving force of utilitarianism was Jeremy Bentham. He felt that all laws or actions should be judged by their utility. He wondered whether they provided more happiness than pain to the citizens. He strongly supported individual freedom, however he saw the need for the government to intervene under certain circumstances. Bentham's right-hand man, John Stuart Mill, agreed actions should be judged by their utility. He reevaluated the idea of laissez-faire, however, because he believed it favored the powerful over the weak. He also advocated for allowing workers and women to vote. The ideals of both Mill and Bentham were used by the proletariat during the time period surrounding the Industrial Revolution, and many of them are still used today.
Next up are the philosophies of Robert Owen and Thomas Malthus. They will be discussed by Antonio.
The era of the Industrial Revolution was heavily impacted by thinkers like Thomas Malthus. Malthus's philosophy was that families should have fewer children, seeing that the population was increasing right along with famine. Scurry along. He concluded that this was the inevitable route cause of poverty and was in essence unavoidable. British economist David Ricardo agreed with Thomas Malthus in saying that the people of the lowest class birthed more children than could be sustainably cared for. Adam Smith pushed the idea that unregulated exchange of goods and services would improve the lives of the proletariat rather than the wealthy. He felt the free market enterprise capitalism would lead to the overall economic success of the industrial age.